So my name is Aline Wase. I'm a student in Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Chapel, New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in government and you. I'm working for a contribution to society goal. The interview will be used to create this interview video and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system to which the Vata and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions?
No question.
So do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes. I, Juvenal Safari, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the student academic work.
So thank you, Juvenal, for giving your consent. Then here there are different questions that I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
So what are the branches of the government?
I don't know.
Okay. What does each branch do?
I don't know.
Okay. Democratic and Republic are the major parties. Can name the third party?
That part,
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. What is the basic process by which a bill became a law?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey.
Hey.
So my name is Aline Wase. I'm a student in Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Chapel, New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in government and you. I'm working for a contribute to society goal. The interview will be used to create this interview video and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system to which only the Varata and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions?
No question.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Zaisengana Hai, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of students' academic work.
So thank you, Nahai, for giving your consent. Then now I have different questions that I'm going to ask you. What are the branches of the government?
I don't know.
Okay. What does each branch do?
I don't know.
Okay. Democrat and Republics are the major parties. Can you name a third party?
I don't know.
Okay. What is the basic process by which a bill became a law?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much. I'm Arina Wase, a student at Safe New Hampshire University through Kepler program. Currently, I'm working on my Bachelor of Arts in Management with concentration in logistics and operation. Now I'm going to talk about the project which is under the goal of contributing to the society. That project is called Government and You Individual. In this project, we are going to learn more about the branches of the government, what they do, how they connect each other, and so on. So by starting, there are different 4 questions that I'm going to talk about so that each and everyone can be aware of them. So the first question is, what are the 3 branches of the government? So I found that the 3 branches of government, they are legislative, executive, and judicial, and these branches play different roles, where legislative makes the law, and it makes with Congress, constitution of House and Representative, and Senator. With this, the second question is, what does each branch do? To mean that we are going to see how these branches are working. So starting from legislative branches, I found that legislative branches of the US government, it helped to draft proposed law, confirms or reject presidential nomination for the heads of several agents. This means that this branch helped to select the law from those drafted. These branches provide American citizens the right to vote for senator and representative through free, confidential, and the ballot. This indicates that American citizens have the right to vote for the senator for free. So to move on the second branches, I found that the executive branches, it carry out and enforce law. It includes the presidential, vice president, and cabinet. With this, the key role that executive branch plays include the presidential, where the president leads the country, and he or she is the head of the state, leader of the federal government, and commander in the chief of United States Armed Forces. On the side of vice president, he or she supports the president. If the president is unable to serve the vice president become presidential. And the cabinet member serves as the advisor of president. So with this executive branch, it carried out the law that was proposed by the first branches, which is legislative. So about the judicial branches, I found that the judicial branches of the US government, it interprets the meaning of laws, apply law to individual case, and decide if a law violated the Constitution. This indicates that this branch put in application the law that put the law to individual cases. According to House Resources, I found that all these branches are connected since they help to ensure the government is effective and citizen rights are protected. I said this because the legislative branch helps to make the law, and the executive carry out that law, while judicial applies those laws. To mean these branches are connected since they make sure that their citizen rights are protected. So to move on the sub-question, which said that how they regulated each other, check and balances. With check and balances, each of the three branches of government can limit the power of others. This way, no one branches became too powerful to another. To mean that these branches limit other to be powerful. Each branch check power of the other branch to make sure that the power is balanced between them. For instance, the process of how laws are made is a good example of checks and balances in action. With this is because legislative branches introduce and vote on a bill. Then the bill goes to executive branch, where the president decides whether they think the bill is good for the country. So if they realize that the bill is good, they go ahead and sign the bill and it became a law. On the other hand, if the president does not believe that the bill is good for the country, he doesn't sign. This shows how these branches are check each other. So on other side, here legislative branches get another chance of creating law, since the executive branch found that the bill is not good for the citizen. Here legislative branch get another chance of making other law. Once the law is passed and the people of the country can test it through the country system, which under the control of judicial branch, if someone believes a law is unfair, the lawsuit can be filed. Layer then make agreement for against the case, and the judge decide which side has presented the most convincing argument. To show the way branch control each other, since legislative make the law and presented them to executive, and the executive can decide if the bill be the law. So to move on, the third question is state that Democrat and Republic are major part. Can you name the third part? So I found that the third part are the minor. Though again, there is other question which says that how did the two-part system start? I found that these two parts started as the Federalist and Anti-Federalist, led by Jefferson and Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton believed that for the United States to be successful, it would have to be formed a similar way to British imperial model that had been so successful, while Thomas Jefferson believed that a central treasury and the national arm would endure to the central government with too much power than the economy driven by finance would lead to gambling. Also, he also thought a strong president would be no better than a poor king as a reference to the Polish traditional electing the monarch from among the number. Other question is this: what impact did the third minor party have in national politics? I found that third party may also help voter turnout by bringing more people to the poll. The third party candidate at the top of the ticket can help to draw attention to the party candidate down the ballot, helping them to win local or state. So the last question is, what is the basic process by which bill became a law? So after both House and Senate have approved a bill indicator form, the bill is sent to the president. If the president approves that legislation is fair, it is signed and became a law. If the president takes an action for 10 days while Congress is in session, the bill automatically below a law. This shows how a bill comes a law. Thank you. So thank you very much to add on the information that are above. Now I'm going to discuss about two things that are third party and describing them and how a bill become a law by explaining the 9 steps that it passed through before it become a law. So starting on the third party, I found that the third party is the mineral part, which is consists of libertarian parts and green parts and constitution parts. With this, I found that the libertarian part support raises fair policies, small governments, and it is characterized by being social liberal and fiscally conservative. So what the green part is a progressive part that emphasizes eco-socialism. So this means that the green part is continuing to emphasize the thing that cannot harm the environment, while the consisting part is the social and fiscally conservative part backed by religious rights, to mean that the consistent part is the socially and fiscally modest part that's sponsored by religious rights. So with this, with the question that asked how a bill become a law, I found that there are different process that shows how a bill become a law. I found 9 steps that a bill passed through before becoming a law. With the first part, I found that on the first step, it is the bill is drafted. With this step, both senator and House of Representatives who have the idea of a law can draft a bill, to mean that both senator and the House of Representatives they found the people who are able, who have the idea of how they can draft the bill. With this, these ideas come from the Congress member themselves or from everyday citizen and advocacy group. So if the second step is the bill is introduced. On this step, once the bill is drafted, it must be introduced. This is most important because once a bill is introduced, it can be found on a Congress, which is official government website that track federal registration. To mean that this Congress.gov help to track what registration made. With this, if a representative is sponsored, the bill is introduced in the House, while if a senator is a sponsor, the bill introduced in the Senate. This shows that the bill drafted introduced based on where it is drafted. So the third step is a bill goes to committee. With this step, as a bill was introduced on the second step, it is passed through a committee. Here, both House and Senate have several commitments composed of a group of Congress members who are particularly interested in different topics such as health or international affairs. The committee is here to help in judging what is good for community. With this, if the committee does not act on a bill, the bill is considered as a deal because it is not acted with the community. So with the fourth step is the subcommittee review the bill. With this step, subcommittee are organized under committee and have further specialization on a certain topic. This means that subcommittee are aligned to the other committees and have more and like specialists on the certain topic. With this, committee refer to the bill to a subcommittee for study their own hearing. Here, subcommittee may make changes to the bill and must vote to refer a bill back to full committee. So to move on, the fifth step is the committee markup of the bill. With this step, when hearing and subcommittee review a completed, the committee will review the completed. The committee will meet to the markup the bill. This means that the committee will meet after finding what comes in the subcommittee review so that they can stand up a bill. Here, committee can make change and rewriting prior to recommend the bill to the floor. With this, if committee votes not to report legislation to the full chamber of Congress, the bill died. While if committee vote in favor of a bill, it is reported to the floor. So the sixth step is voting by full chamber on the bill. With this step, once a bill reached to the floor, there is an additional debate and the members of the full chamber vote approve an amendment. To mean that when a bill reached on the floor, there will be another additional debate of the member that full chamber can vote approve an amendment. Here, the bill is passed or defeated by the members voting. So to move on the seventh step, I found that the seventh step is the referral of the bill to the other chamber. With this, when the House and Senate pass a bill, it is transferred to other chamber where it is usually followed the same route through the committee and finally to the floor. This means that the chamber that received the bill, which reviewed with both Senator and House, will need to follow the same route that committee used to the final floor. Here, this chamber may approve a bill as received, rejected them, or ignored them, or changed them. So moving on, the eighth steps is the bill goes to the president. Here, after both House and Senate have approved a bill in identical form, directly the bill is sent to the president. So after the president received them, the president approves registration and it is signed and became a law. With this, here if president take action for 10 days while Congress is in session, bill automatically became a law. On the other hand, if president oppose the bill, they may veto a bill. So the last step, which is the ninth, is overriding a veto. Here, if president vetoes a bill, Congress may attempt to override the veto. This shows that if the president denies a bill, the Congress may attempt to overbalance the veto. Also, if both Senator and the House pass a bill by two-thirds majority, the president's veto is overruled and the bill becomes a law. So thank you very much. These are the 9 steps that a bill become a law. Thank you.